Hello, happy Saturday evening to all of you. Thanks so much for coming in. Thank you replay viewers, and thank you catch viewers. Catch viewers, if you'd like to watch live, you can join me on Periscope by downloading the Periscope app and searching for Penguin and Fish. I'm here every night at 9:30 p.m. Central. Thanks so much for coming in, guys. Look, I finished it. I just need to take off the sticky Fabri-Solvy, so I'm gonna flip you around and we'll get cracking here. Hey there, everyone. Hello again. So I'm seeing a few of you pop in, and I saw you earlier today because today was craft day where I was gonna finish all of the things. So today I caught up on all of my Splendid Sampler blocks. So that means I finished all the embroidery from this embroidery. So look, this idea we came up with during the day, but I was almost gonna run out of the purple. So I added this cream. I know it looks crazy. It's like a whole other little bit of cream, but it's to go with the doily that I'm making from my grandma's thread that I ran out of the purple for here too, so I had to put cream on the outside. So that's kind of what we mimicked here, and I'm super excited to see what it looks like without the sticky Fabri-Solvy. So we are going to have a short scope tonight because, okay, I was here for craft day. You'll never guess how long it was. So I finished this embroidery, and I also did I blanket stitched around my seagulls. So here you go. I did all the blanket stitching around here, around all 3 seagulls. And then I also finished the paper piece block, the number 15, wait, 15 or 16? 15 paper piece block. So you know how long that took? I started at 11 a.m. today, and I stopped at 7 p.m. Wait, 7 p.m. No, that's not right. I stopped at 6 p.m. So 7 hours, people. I wasn't gonna stop till I finished my embroideries and all these blocks. So I am currently caught up with the Splendid Sampler. So I'm pretty stoked about that. So all I have to do yet before I'm caught up, before tomorrow when we get our new block, is take the Fabri-Solvy off of here. So that's what I will be doing today. Yes, it was a marathon. It was super fun though. I really had a fun time. I went to watch and you'd finished 5 minutes earlier. Oh no, Melody, oh that's so funny. Yeah, I was on for 7 hours today and I'm here again. Yeah, I feel awesome. I feel awesome that I'm almost practically done. So I used the metallic floss and everything. So I'm excited to see what the metallic looks like popped up against this dark blue. So all right, guys. We're caught up. I'm going to take the Fabri-Solvy off now. If you're new here, my name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish. I'm the author of Sew and Stitch Embroidery and a fabric designer as well. At Penguin and Fish, we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. I'm part of the designers of the Splendid Sampler too. The Splendid Sampler is a year-long quilt-along, mystery quilt-along, where we get new blocks every Thursday and Sunday. And we just got block 16, and tomorrow is new block day. So this was actually my block, my designed block, and I hadn't finished it yet. It's been weeks and I haven't finished it. So I finally had a whole all-day craft day today. Hey guys, thanks for coming in again. And I finally finished it. So all we have to do yet is take off the sticky Fabri-Solvy. So this is an embroidery stabilizer. Let me show you the packaging again here, just a sec. So this is the sticky Fabri-Solvy. So it's by Selkie. This is the brand, and then it's sticky Fabri-Solvy, and make sure to get all those words right. And this is the 8.5 by 11 size, so you can print this right on your printer. So I have like some sheets back here that I've already cut up and printed on, but this is just printed from my printer. And then you stick it right onto your embroidery and stitch through it. And what that means is that you don't have to trace. You get to skip the entire tracing transfer process completely. All you do is print it right to the Fabri-Solvy. It sticks like a sticker. You stitch right through it so you can still see some of the printing. Seam allowance right there. And then it dissolves in water. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. This is so you can see what the product looks like when it dissolves. and how we finish up the design. But yeah, to not have to trace your design for embroidery, I mean, that's a win for sure. All right, I'm gonna flip you around and we'll get going. Again, this is gonna be a pretty quick scope tonight because I was here all day today. And we're just gonna take this Fabri-Solvy off and iron it. I'll show you how I iron embroidery so it keeps its stitched, its 3D essence, the embroidery. You don't want to flatten it, and I'll show you how I do that. And it dries out the embroidery right away after you stitch it, so it's super fun. So I'm gonna flip you around and we'll get going. Okay, so I have 2 bowls of water here. I have, like, okay, let's get that. Oh, there, now we're in focus. So I have 2 clean bowls of water, and, and you could actually do this over a sink too. So here's my other clean bowl of water. So you're gonna just put your block right in there. So here you can see the Fabri-Solvy. So you can cut away some of this excess, and that's what I did right here. Oh wait, no, over here. I cut away the excess. You know, it doesn't really matter hot and cold. I do mine, it works either way. I do mine a little warm just so my fingers don't freeze. So it doesn't matter all that much. So the only thing that might happen here is I am not positive this is color fast yarn or color fast thread. So just in case, if this is not color fast, I got some of these Shout color catchers in the mail today, and we will try to use that, but I'm only gonna do that if this bleeds. I went in embroidering knowing that this might bleed, and I did that on purpose because I wanted to kind of test the floss. But so I have that just in case. We'll see if that works, if it bleeds. But usually you don't have to worry too much about that with most floss brands. So I'm gonna just start putting this in here, just get it all wet. And now I could just let this sit here and it would start to come off, but I'm just gonna kind of lightly agitate it. Would cooler water stop it from running? Maybe. I mean, this is pretty cool water. So I'm not too worried about the water temperature, but here already you can kind of start seeing it flake off, right? So we'll just keep it in the water. Yours ran. Oh, try the color catchers thing. I mean, I haven't actually had, but the color. So you did use the color catchers and that worked great. Okay, yeah, I have never really had a problem with it running, but I use DMC floss usually, and that's pretty color fast. This is Weeks Dye Works, this purple, which can have, it says that it's not necessarily color fast on the packaging, so I was a little worried about it, but I thought I'd give it a test. I wanted to on purpose see if it would bleed or not, because I wanted to kind of test the thread itself. But see, so you can already see all those big chunks are off. See, you can see them in the water here. So all we have left now is all the little details around the stitches. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna just keep going and just keep it in here, and we're gonna kind of lightly agitate. I'm just brushing my fingers over the stitches. I'm not really doing much. Do I think the color catchers, oh sorry, I missed that with the color catchers. If you could plop that question up again, sorry. So I'm just lightly agitating it here. Each little stitch, and you know, take your time doing this. I mean, you can sit here for, you know, 5 minutes or so, just going over all your stitches. And again, if you just leave this in water for a little while, it'll do a lot of the work for you, but you know, this kind of moves it along a little. I'm just gently brushing the stitches. I don't want to pull the stitches at all. You know, I'm just being really gentle. It softens like rice paper. Oh, you know, that's a great comparison. It softens rice paper for, it's like softening rice paper for Vietnamese rolls. It's kind of just like that. It just kind of melts away a little bit. So, and on light colors, so this is a pretty light floss here. You can kind of see it underneath there yet, because I printed it with black ink, you know, black laser copy ink. So that means, you know, just keep going. And we got a lot. I haven't brushed around on any of these inside bits yet. So take your time. We'll be here for a little while, just brushing out all our stitches. But already we can kind of see what it's gonna look like with the dark. I'm super excited for it. I did a little time, I did a lot of embroidery lately, and I did a little time lapse on my Instagram of me doing this the other day. The black ink comes off. Yeah, so it's gonna flake off with the rest of the Fabri-Solvy, but since we've stitched over it, the stitch is kind of protecting the Fabri-Solvy from melting, so that's why I'm just kind of agitating it a little. And again, if I just let this sit in here for a little while, it's gonna do the work for me. But I'm just gently agitating. And with these chain stitches, it's really gonna wanna hide under there a little bit. So I'm getting just kind of as much as I can off in like a short little period of time. When I see the water getting all kind of murky like this, and I feel like I have almost all of it off. I mean, I have quite a bit around these edges here yet, so we'll do this for a little while yet. But when I feel like this is getting maybe too murky, that's when I switch to my clean water again. But I'm gonna just rub on these stitches a little bit more, get a little bit more of it off before I switch to the clean water. But you can see it comes off pretty quickly, and this is another step that you do have to do. But again, having to do this step at the end, for me at least, in my opinion, still beats me having to trace my design when I want to stitch. I mean, being able to just print that out and stick it right onto my fabric and stitch right through it, I mean, that does it. That's good stuff. All right, so I almost have all of it off. So I'm going to switch to clean water because look at it, it's starting to flake. It's going to, you know, all this when I lift it up, it's staying on my fabric, and I don't want any of that. So I'm going to switch to the clean water. Yeah, it's so worth it. So I'm going to switch to the clean water, and we will do this some more. So we'll just scooch this out of the way. And again, you can just do this over a sink and let the water run, but or in a fill up the sink with water and do it there. But you know, for Periscope's sake, I'm doing it in clean water bits. So now again, I'm going to just do kind of a final cleaning over every little stitch, just kind of brushing, just kind of lightly brushing all the stitches again. We want to get all that Fabri-Solvy out. And if you can see it, if you can see the Fabri-Solvy still in your stitches, just keep doing this. Or let it sit for, you know, let it sit for 3 minutes and come on back. So you can still see it's starting to float around, so I still do have Fabri-Solvy stuck onto here. But yeah, again, so much better in my mind at least than having to trace the design. The crochet hook makes you chuckle. Yeah, so we stitched the crochet hook with a metallic floss. What is it called? It's by Lycian Cosmo floss. It's the Nishikito, I think that's what it's called. You can Google that. It's kind of a little difficult to find. I think it might be a kind of newish, but it's really metallic. Like, it really shines. It looks and kind of feels metallic, and it comes in all sorts of colors, all sorts of different silvers and all sorts of different golds and coppers, and it's really, you know, it's still pretty easy to work with, and it really looks shiny. Love the Fabri-Solvy. Works great with remotion embroidery and by machine too. Ooh, Diane, I'm gonna have to play with that. Yeah, you can do some. Oh gosh, there's this artist. Oh, what's her name? It's like Elizabeth McCullough or something like that. It's close to that. That might not be quite right, but she does really detailed machine, like florals and stuff, and then she melts away the Fabri-Solvy, and it's like these. It's just these pieces of art. I'll have to find her name because her Instagram and her photos are just pretty amazing. All right, I've gone around there. Let's focus on these inside stitches of hair here. So take your time. We're just chilling, working on this. But we're gonna. Oh, look, it is really shiny underwater too. That's so funny. But we'll press this as well, and the pressing will take out all of the wetness and stuff right away too. So we'll have a perfectly dry block when we're done after this, and the embroidery stitches will be intact yet too. We won't have flattened them. So sometimes you can still see that we have a little bit of black underneath here. Sometimes that, on light colors like that, sometimes once you press it, that will go away a little bit. I know, LaShonda, I could not believe that it took that long for these 3 tiny 6.5-inch blocks, right? I was on Periscope nonstop today for 7 hours. In the literal sense, it was 7 hours. Like to the minute almost. I know. Well, and I even did my nails after, right? I don't have my red nail polish on anymore. That's what I did. I poured myself a glass of wine and I watched an episode of Vinyl and did my nails, and now I'm back here. So after we finish this, then I will officially be caught up. You scrub the black out with your nails. Oh, so that's, yeah, I could do that. I mean, we're actually almost gone. I think, I just had that little tiny bit there, and that some of that, you won't see that as much when this is dry either, so I'm actually not too worried about it. If I let it sit in here a little longer, that will go away. But yeah, so we are almost ready here. I can kind of see, oh here, I don't know if I can focus. I gotta dry my finger first here, then I'll focus. There, you can kind of see that we have some stuck in here yet, so I'm going to brush up against that. Because we did this all in chain stitch, it really is kind of wanting to hold it all in because it's pretty dense stitching there. So I'm going to just kind of focus on this middle area, and then I think we're about ready here. The water's still pretty clean. You can see a few flakes in there, but I'm not too worried. I don't think we need another clean thing. So I'm just getting this little center area. What if it isn't all out when you press? If it isn't all out when you press, first of all, we are gonna press with this facing down, so the iron will never touch the front, so the iron won't get any Fabri-Solvy on, in case there is some on, so you don't have to worry about that. But if there's still some on and it's bothering you, then just put it back in the water and keep at it, or let it sit in the water for another 5 minutes and it'll be good. But we're not gonna press the front. So, because the Fabri-Solvy, you don't want that on your iron, but we're not gonna press the front, so it won't be touching where the Fabri-Solvy potentially is. How are we doing? I think that's looking pretty good. Let's look a little closer. I know I'm a little out of focus here. I'll put you in focus and then I'll do a little bit. You distract me and then I go a little slower. That's how I want it though. Well, it's nice to chit chat with you guys. So I think we'll go like maybe 1 more minute. It looks pretty good, but look at, so I don't think we have any bleeding. Does it look like, I don't think it's bled at all. So it looks good to me. So it's kind of funny because in the Weeks Dye Works, which is this purple, on their new packaging, it says it's color fast based on industry standards. So whatever that means, right? On their old packaging, it says that it's not color fast. On their new packaging, it says it's color fast for industry standards. So I don't know. I think it didn't bleed at all. So I'm guessing, yeah, I know, thankfully, right? So I didn't have to use the Shout. But one of these days, I will test like a bright red on white, because a lot of times red can bleed, so we'll test a red on white sometime. If you watch the finished quilt, does this step need to be so detailed? Probably not, but I think, it's kind of nice. I would like to see the quilt before that. I mean, again, I haven't really been here that long. We've just been doing this, and it's nice to see it. It could be cool, or yeah, I guess it's coolish water. Maybe warm water would make it have bled. But you know what? I'm gonna call this done, and we are gonna move on to the pressing. I mean, you can kind of see a little bit of black stuck underneath here, but I think we're not gonna see that so much once we get here. We'll just kind of rub on that a little bit. I don't think we're gonna see it so much once it's dry. Oh, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Well, look how shiny that crochet hook is. I just think that's just so silly. Oh, you just had a major bleed on red. Oh, well, try the color catchers. See if that works. I do want to test the color catchers at some point. All right, so I'm going to move to I'm gonna bring this actually into the shot here. So I have my ironing board. All right, here we go, guys. All right, here is my, let's get all my water bowls out of the way. So I have my iron here, and I'll get you guys in focus here. Okay, oops, hi. I double one. There we go. So here's my wet embroidery, and so you want to put a fluffy towel on your ironing board. Peekaboo, yep. So here's a fluffy towel. So you're gonna put your wet embroidery face down. So we want, so the fluffiness of the towel is gonna protect the 3D-ness of your embroidery. So like if you had a bunch of French knots or something, I mean, you don't want to flatten your French knots. So that's why we have the fluffy towel. All this is going to sink into the towel. So we're going to just put our wet embroidery right there. Here, I'll get it so it's in the frame there. And now you're going to just take your hot iron. My iron might be asleep, so we might have to wake it up. Yeah, okay. It just needs to know up and down a few times. I think the iron's got to warm up again, but we're just gonna press the back of this embroidery, and I am really 3D-ness yeah, that's a good word. I'm really kind of pressing on this, but my stitches are gonna be fine because they're in the fluffiness of the towel. My nails kind of match this towel a little bit. Like, this is a good color. My skin and the pink and my nails, I like that combo. All right, so I think my iron is still waking up a little. Oh, there's some heat in there. So I am just pressing this, and by pressing the back like this, the water, see, you can already see, like, look, the water is coming out and it's getting sucked into the towel. So I'm gonna just continue to press the back of this. So I'm doing this right after the Fabri-Solvy was in the water. So this is a wet, this is super wet right now, but the iron and the towel together are drying it out. Oh, good night. Thanks so much for coming in. So already we have it pretty dry. I'm gonna flip it around. We're gonna press it again. So it's pretty wet right here. So I'm gonna just scooch the towel down to a dry spot. So here we are. It's almost all dry. It's just a little wet around the edges. So I'm gonna just, I'm on a dry part of the towel, and we're gonna just press a little bit more. But you can see it's all light already. It's just a little wet around the stitches. So we've dried out our whole block and embroidery from getting it soaking wet right away, and preserved the stitches. So this is the way I do this, guys. This Fabri-Solvy is just the best. Just putting it in your printer and doing it, and then you just press it right when you're done, and it's good to go. So we are done. I'm gonna flip this around. This is now pretty much perfectly dry already, and there we are. We got some wrinkles in there. Let's try and get those out. Here's the time to do that. You know what? I think that's actually from my sewing. I think I didn't sew this on perfectly. I think I had some wrinkly sewing. But there we are. Here is the block, and it's completely dry right now. But look, we still have some good 3-dimensional stitches in there. Even this metallic floss worked really well, and it's 3D still because we use the towel. So there we are, guys. I am officially caught up with the Splendid Sampler. Until tomorrow, right? When we get our new block. So I'm gonna flip you guys around. That is it for the night. Hey there again, guys. So nice and short tonight because we did do it all day, and there we are. It is perfectly dry. There's no wetness to this at all anymore. So really quick. The towel, the iron together. It just did it. You know what? It may be another glass of wine time. We'll see. So woohoo, people! completely caught up. If you guys want to see the scope from today, clearly fast forward and rewind however you want. But if you wanted to see like me crochet the hook, I know a lot of people were wondering how I did the hook. You can fast forward to that and the blanket stitches on the seagulls. Feel free to go check that out. All my recordings are at katch.me/penguinandfish. You can check out everything there. I've done every single block of the Splendid Sampler on there. So thanks again, guys. We will be here again tomorrow night to do block 17. I'm super excited to see what that looks like. I have no idea. I don't think they've put anything on Facebook or anything yet either, so I'm excited. So thanks again, guys. A little short scope here tonight. I really appreciate you coming in, and thanks so much for all of you who joined me today during my 7 hours of crafting. It was a whole lot of fun. Good night, guys. Thanks again. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.